Calling to order the committee of the whole meeting for Diamond Lake School District 76 for Tuesday, June 6th. Roll call, please.
Huffman. Here. Kastler. Here. Sabaki. Here. Walker. Gaffney.
Here. At this time, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we open the floor for any comments from the public on our agenda items. Do we have any comments this evening? Having no comments, we're going to give the floor to our superintendent to talk about recognition.
Thank you. The highlights of our third week is to recognize our students and our staff, because this is who goes on all years. It's a really nice opportunity for us to congratulate them and recognize them for their efforts. So I'm going to just quickly order and recognize our student athletes from West Oak. So I have Mr. Wilker, please join me in introducing our coaches as well as our students, and then to say a few words about this. So we had 3 state qualifiers this year, 2 for wrestling and 1 for track, and 1 could not make it to one of our state qualifiers for wrestling, but we're going to recognize Woody Osorio anyway. We'll make sure that he gets a certificate. But we do have Mr. Ethan Thomas and Coach Mr. Greg Burkos. So I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Wolford to say a few words and then introduce Mr. Burkos, who will then present Ethan with his award.
Good evening, everybody. Board of Education, thank you all. I always get excited over this when we see children doing something exceptional through music or athletics or clubs or something. Be a little biased as a former wrestling coach. It was thrilled that we have 2 state qualifiers this year, and they had a young man play soccer. Mr. Burkos has done an outstanding job. I'd like to thank the board for continuing supporting having athletics and extracurricular activities for our students. This is a great time for kids to display another way of having their talent, their love, their passion. And if you have met our state qualifiers and all the other children who participate, it takes a lot of effort and perseverance. It's truly wonderful. I'd like to turn it over to Coach Burkos so he can introduce Ethan and talk about also Rudy and his earning 2nd place this year. Mr. Burkos is an outstanding coach, great young man, good role model. Most importantly, he just is an outstanding human being and a teacher here at West Oak. And I couldn't be any prouder of him as a teacher or as a coach. So Mr. Burkos, thank you.
Thank you for those very kind words. I will just speak a minute about Rudy. I know he's not here, but it was a pretty special journey with him this year to watch him gone from a 5th grader who had never wrestled before to going all the way down to DeKalb and taking 2nd place in the state. We had never had a wrestler win a match in the state tournament before. To have him go there and really perform well. He had a couple thrilling matches. It was really exciting the whole way. And Ethan, who's still with us, had the privilege to know him for a number of years. I was his kindergarten teacher way back when at Perry. And a couple of years after that, I got an email from Dad saying, "Hey, I saw you wrestling coach for West Oak, getting my kids into wrestling," and every once in a while he said, "I'm sure it's over." So I was like, "Well, that's really exciting, but it seems so far away." But sure enough, the years flew by, and Ethan came here this year. When he joined our team, we really hadn't had 5th graders compete. He stepped in, and from the minute he stepped on the mat for us, he showed that he belonged. he really did a great job the whole year. So we're super proud of what he was able to do, and we have a lot of high hopes that he's going to continue to excel in our program in the next couple of years. So Ethan, come up.
Excellent job.
Now we would like to recognize Mia Mikolajczyk for the 100-meter girls hurdles and track. And one of her coaches is here tonight, Coach Tester. If you'd like to come on up and say a few words, we would appreciate it. And bring your friend.
I had to write this down because I'm not too very well with speeches. Good evening, Board of Education, parents, and staff. My name is Coach Ivy Sosadet. I'm very happy to be here tonight to recognize Mia Mikolajczyk. She had an awesome track season while competing for Westfield Track as a 7th grader. Mia ran with a lot of heart, competing in the 100-meter hurdles, 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, and the 4x1 relay. She topped off the track season as the conference and sectional champion for the 100-meter girls hurdles and qualified her for state, where she ran her best time, the time of 17:44. I'm very, very proud of Mia and look forward for another successful season with Mia for the track year, for the next track season. Go Sirs!
Thank you, Ms. Williford, and thank you, coaches, and most importantly, thank you, students, for giving 110%, not only to your academics, but also to your extracurricular activities. We're very proud of you. And this now brings us to recognizing our staff, our Diamond Awards. We are concluding this year with 16 diamonds, and to add to that list, I would like to invite Ms. Sue Lindstrom up here, who has nominated Ms. Judy Lane. So Sue, would you like to come up?
I also would like to do this. I would like to nominate Judy Lane for the Diamond Award for many reasons. Judy is a proponent of best practice. Therefore, she was instrumental in writing, training, and the implementation of the District 76 balanced literacy approach to literacy instruction. She worked hand in hand with Steve Jaraka to propose and refine the framework now used in our district. She is passionate about students being provided with what they need to be successful in reading, comprehension, and writing. She has mastered planning and scheduling as many children as she can so that they fit into her day. She has shared this process with others. This year, she scheduled all the access door testing times. As a new EL resource teacher, she helped me work with all the conflicting schedules to ensure that my students receive their EL hours as well. Each morning for 70 minutes, she is also a co-teacher in both first grade dual language classrooms, where she provides small group reading instruction. This allows all the students in these classrooms to receive instruction daily. Last year, she co-taught with another dual language classroom to help provide a year-long writing experience. Judy is on the ILT committee as well as the report card committee. There is a need in the district. Judy is willing and able to assist teachers, students, and our administration. She is 100% plus and is a diamond in the rough.
Dr. Roberts, would you like to come up and recognize one of your teachers?
Absolutely. We can like the pictures. We can do
You can stay up here, Dr. Fredericks, because you have another staff member being recognized. And I can't think of a better way to end your career and with retirement than to get a nice big diamond. So Mrs. Garcia has nominated Mrs. Lindstrom. This was not staged or planned, it just coincidentally happened. Mrs. Garcia, would you like to come on up?
Sue has actually been serving our children for 20 years. Since I've known her, she stands out with her positive attitude. This is her last year at our school. This year, she was teaching in the classroom across mine, so I got to see her working with students on a regular basis. Sometimes they would be in the home reading. I admire the kindness to the children where she worked with them. She would sometimes take them in her room to practice math, and she would have them count as they walked there, making the most out of every moment. This year, she was instrumental in the creation of our Cyborg PowerPoint. She incorporated pictures to make words easier to remember. She looked for pictures for every one of our 82 cyborgs. And to make it more exciting, she created movement and take every one of our students saying a word and making a movement. This is a tool that we'll be probably using for many years to come. She's not only an awesome educator, but an amazing colleague. On several occasions, I've come to her asking her for suggestions with struggling students. She has provided me with an abundance of ideas and materials to service those students. And she did that with a smile. I hope that after teaching for 20 years, I have half of her attitude and dedication. She's true Blackman Award winner, and we're all going to miss her.
I told her it was more fun to get one than read one, isn't it? Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to your retirement. Thank you for all of your years of dedication. So thank you to everyone who has come to this portion of the recognition for this evening. And we recognize that school's out and yet you're willing to come back in. So thank you for that, and we appreciate it very much. But we do not expect you to stay for the rest of the meeting. You're certainly welcome to, but we understand. All right, so next up we have a presentation.
Take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Hanson, who has prepared an overview of where we are currently at in our Net 56 and District 76 partnerships and contracted services, and then an overview for the future. Mr. Hanson.
Make sure. All right. Good evening, everyone. This presentation is focusing on our current services and infrastructure we have here at Dynamic District 76, as well as focusing on the future of the next few years on our services that we have, whether through our technology firm, and as well as our infrastructure needs and upgrades that we will need over the next several years. So if you look through your board packets, you'll notice this exact same presentation is available here that's being presented. Currently, our Net 56 service program utilizes 2 on-site service technicians, as well as a premium remote support bundle, which I'll refer to as our 24/7 monitoring and management of all our infrastructure and networking and remote services, as well as some information services that they support us with, and that's pretty much what I'll generally mention over the next few slides is 24/7 monitoring and management. That comes at a cost of $13,435 per month. We have a few recommendations over the next few years, focusing on services as well as infrastructure upgrades. Our current model utilizes 2 technicians, and we want to continue utilizing 2 technicians, but focusing on 1 level 2 technician provided by Net 56, as well as our 24/7 infrastructure and support that I mentioned in the previous slide. However, adding 1 technician that is employed through the district. The other area that we want to focus on is our infrastructure, and currently we utilize 2012 servers throughout the district that are these Mac mini servers that are very small, and they've been around for a decent amount of time, not robust, not redundant by any means, but they do everything we need currently. But we're thinking about the future, we're thinking about our current status and what we're going to look like in the next few years. It was built as a small business model, but obviously being a one-to-one district across the board and all this being connected, even in the board meeting, connecting to an access point, we want to ensure that our servers are upgraded to the capacity that will support us for the duration. With that being said, we want to add 2 servers to West Oaks Data Center. West Oaks Data Center is what's considered a main distribution frame that connects out to the other 2 buildings. We also want to be able to incorporate what's called Active Directory Service. What this does is allows us to efficiently control all of our, efficiently control accounts, as well as the accounts that's connected to it, whether it's devices, printers, or even account creation via email, PowerSchool, or so on and so forth. Everything gets connected instead of having to create multiple accounts at once. So it increases efficiency. But we want to utilize our current servers that we have right now as our 2012 Mac mini servers as our image profile servers for our Apple devices. For us to pretty much be a 99% Mac district, we need to image and manage those devices with Mac software. So it's utilizing our current our current servers we have to be able to support those. Now, this one last bullet is not, Yeah, I have questions. All right, I'll be open, Mary, for questions. Sorry.
So currently we have 2 full-time level 1 technicians on site. They're Net 56.
Yes.
So who does our level 2 support now?
That's a great question. Our current our current technicians are actually at the capacity level of level 2 technicians. They have changed at the end, existing contract will change, the service financials will change as well. And one of the current technicians we have has done a fantastic job. We want to be able to retain that particular person at the same service that person provides. And also removing the other technician and going in-house with our own technician at a lower rate.
So like right now we're paying level 1 rate. And if we want to increase, we want to keep the same people, and one of them is excellent, he's being promoted to a level 2 technician. So we want to keep him the one level 2 technician, and then to save money, we want to hire our whole person. Because we don't feel second technician is worth, we're at level 2 quality that the same one, that the first technician is.
So the profiler of the internal person would be someone who's level 1, but at a lower price.
Yeah.
Level 2, similar to a level 2.
Similar to a level 2, but a lower price point, but it may come in as more an entry that will progress to a level 2.
Train them ourselves and
Yeah.
train them also with the current level 2.
Somebody needs to do the level 1 stuff.
Yeah, generally what we were proposing is we had two level 1 technicians in the initial contract. However, our gentlemen generally work at a level 2 technician skill set. However, the person we're proposing would be more of that level 1 that does have the potential of level 2 skills that they'll have in-house.
And you say that for next year, the contract would include the 24/7 infrastructure monitoring and management. Is that whole premium remote support level we're currently at?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just say space on the slide, I didn't want to add all those additional bullet points, but it's the exact same service. That would be monitoring and managing and all those additional bullets in the first slide. The last bullet is not an additional cost. It's not adding anything. It's more of moving an area. So in this slide here, and if you look at your agenda, it will actually illustrate that we have what's called an IDF. It's where all of our wireless access points in different parts of our building connect up. And currently one of those areas in Fairhaven is in a non-temperature controlled room. So we want to be able to move it into a different room so that it will not have any errors, or the life of that equipment will last a lot longer than it would in a room that's very warm. And has come.
Climbing over chairs and tables to get the measure.
To be honest with you, it's not that bad in that location. It's just extremely warm, and it actually it's kicked off 2 times this year. And overall, what's really important is our kids learning and our staff and their well-being being connected. And if it disconnects quite often, then that means they're disconnected from the internet for a decent amount of time until it gets rebooted. So the estimated technical service cost is lower for Net 56. However, we're at the factoring District 76 technician to be determined. The estimated infrastructure cost is more specifically it's an estimation, so this was presented to us by Net 56 a few months ago in regards to the cost, but most likely it's the migration and parts and labor and duration of moving our servers currently to these newer ones. And the last, I'm sorry.
The 3,100
It's a one-time expense. It's a cost it's just the cost not only of the servers, but the installation and migration of all of our data of our current ones into the new servers and monitoring and managing them until they're up to where it should be. So it's generally a week-long process, and it has to be done after school hours.
Did the common cost of the Net 56 level 2, either one of you as a level 2 technician, what they would charge as well, do you know what they cost
The cost for next year, it says $6,066
per month?
per month. That's the cost of the
Per
one
person per month.
per person per month, so that's the driving back in behind it. Only going with one outsourced technician and bringing it in.
It's about $72,000. And we feel that we can hire someone of more quality, that we can train, that Eric can oversee and work with and hire to be best in our district. It's no fault, I think, anyone in the district that we have gone through 3 technicians, level 1 technicians. One of them moved to a relocation of his house. The other one was a good fit for our district, and the one that we have right now, we're hoping, we're probably, if we suck with that contract, we would be asking him to come back next year. We'll be looking for her. So this way, I go for a lower cost, we're going to get a more committed individual that we can train. With the skill sets that we need.
And we did send out a survey to about 60 different area districts. We received about 30 responses to that, and the cost for a level 1/level 2 technician is significantly lower than what we're going to be paying, what we would be paying. The net 6 outsource costs. So we're kind of going to be a quality candidate at a really reasonable price. So we're going to put together a job description and most that position set.
One of the reasons that we decided to outsource these services was because we could bring in people who would be trained by somebody who was up to date, as opposed to having hired someone that is here 5, 6, 7 years and becomes outdated in terms of their skills. So how do we make sure that this internal person gets trained and stays up to date on skills?
When we hire this person, we're gonna make sure they're coming in with the skill sets that are needed. So not a person that's just started in this field, but somebody that is relatively seasoned, but is in that area of a level 1, level 2 technician that can be on-site trained not only with me, but as well as our current technician that is definitely in a level 2 status. So I'll be able to train them on the ins and outs of what we definitely need for that person to have at Diamond District 76.
One quick question, from a budgetary standpoint, right? Am I understanding this correctly? We spent $13,400 for 2 level 1s last year. And the cost estimate right now, this is just the ongoing stuff, is $10,900 for 1 level 2, plus kind of TBD for the person that we hire.
It's 13,000 with the 2 technicians and their 24/7 support that we have.
So then the proposal is the 24/7 support is still there.
Still included.
So did I understand it right? It's the 1049 plus the cost of whatever the person would
Yeah.
hire.
It would be omitting 1 technician from F56 and hiring 1 person in-house.
We do expect the cost to increase slightly, just based on the fact that the technician costs around 28% for that 56. So that was really much the driving factor. And we decided that we are definitively put on 1 technician. But this technician that we are going to be retaining is so above and beyond good for our district, and provided excellent service. So their goal would be to train who we're bringing in as well, to bring them on. And we're confident the cost of bringing in house are justified. At least with 1 technician if possible.
Okay, perfect. So what I mean, I can say that the cost will go up anyway, we're just mitigating that cost increase by. Thank you.
With Net 56, how long is our contract? Like, I just keep hearing Net 56, but I don't hear any other, like, we put it out to bid for, because of the survey.
We went out to bid last year for a contract, and we landed at 56. So we structured it such that we are in a year-by-year negotiating agreement with them. Okay. We really decided to cancel our agreement anytime that we go out to bid again. So I think you'll see the next slide that we're going to be discussing. I don't want to steal Eric's thunder, but we're going to be discussing potentially bringing both technicians in-house and just retaining 24/7 monitoring service down the road. So that is something that we see if we can go out to bid for. But in terms of what we'd be proposing for next year, we'd like to retain that 56 based on the relationship we formed and progress we made this year.
And the current staff number that we have with them.
I'm still having a hard time though, how, seeing what we're saving money though, I keep hearing we're saving money, because by the time we factor in vacation, like I'm not just going with the Net 56 project.
I don't think we said, but we didn't say we were saving money, we just said we're getting more quality people for less money. So we're gonna get a level 1 technician, because that the distance costs are going up for a level 1 technician. Our experience with them is that we've gone through 3 level 1 technicians within this year, so we want to keep someone that's committed to our district and hire them ourselves and train them with our current level 2 technician as well as Mr. Hanson's oversight.
Right, well, we've also had both here. I think there's a lot of assumptions there that always makes me nervous. Because we've had both and we've had turnover quite a bit for as well. So I guess that, how do we get into the point where we really feel like we're going to get someone at a cheaper rate, that we're going to get a quality person, that they're going to stay, and all of these assumptions line up, versus the net 56 for an additional year, and putting the whole service for bid, or completely insourcing at that point.
You said the cost of a level 1 technician, now for net 56 going forward, it'll be about $65,000 for that individual. So based on the survey we put together, the only rate on a seasoned technician is, a level 1 technician is between 35 and 32,000. So we're confident in retaining a season, we get a seasoned level 1 technician at a cheaper cost than net 56. You're right, there are some assumptions built into that. We have to find a quality candidate. But based on the surrounding districts, they've had a lot of good experience bringing them in-house, and basically, really the justifies really what they want to switch that position.
Right, I mean, the straight salary, but when we factor in insurance costs, things like that, and there, how much more does that, how close does that get us once we start putting in those?
When you start a hiring technician, that's at $40,000 something like that.
That's really, I don't know the survey, that seems low, because I know we just went through a hiring that we did not get requirements for our entry level role, we didn't have to hire.
Any of the 26 districts that responded with $20 below, and $40,000 salary, and $19.15 an hour. So yeah, again, there was some assumptions built into that. We did a thorough survey and worked a lot with some area tech directors on how to structure this position. We can't get somebody off the street that's had no experience, that will not work for us. So we're going to be, if we offer a salary around $40,000, it will save us versus hiring a level 1 technician. You build in $40,000 salary, about $9,000 benefits. It'd be a high mark for an employee. It'd be just a shade of about $53,000. So it'd still be about $10,000 less than what we want. So the cost did go up a lot for that 56, and that's the driving factor behind it. Outsource costs in general have gone up substantially because they're having trouble retaining it. Not school district clients as much as the private sector tech jobs that are more favorable.
Do both of the positions need to be 12 positions?
A lot of 12 months. a lot of the work that they do happens definitely over the course of the summer, and even with summer school here, but that maybe not be the exact tickets that are happening here, but all the servicing, all the equipment, working on anything that's networking has to happen over the course of the summer breaks where there's less people in the buildings. Okay, so I'm sorry, I have one more slide, and that's focusing on 1819 future, which is continuing with 2 technicians, continue with 20% infrastructure monitoring, maintain Active Directory. And the only area that we're focusing specifically on infrastructure is replacing all of our wireless access points throughout the district. Specifically, reasoning why is because we learned that in roughly around 2020 that they'll lose support. Doesn't mean they'll stop working, but they'll lose upgrading support. And with E-rate funding being available to us, this is considered a Category 2 E-rate fundable project, which means that even though that cost is there at $82,000, it would be a significant decrease in pricing for us if we went out to bid the E-rate for wireless access points for the district.
So the 82,000 is the reduced rate or can be reduced?
Can be reduced. That's just an estimated cost based off of the model that we are that is suggested to us by Net 56. And from my understanding, it would just be purchasing and replacing all the access points in the district.
So all of these assumptions and recommendations have been put into forecasting, and we feel confident that we can do that.
Yes, the infrastructure is built into our 5-year agreement, 5-year projections for our obsolescence plan. In the past, we didn't utilize E-rate funding for our infrastructure project that we did a few years ago. So this is something that we want to use it while the program is still available, and why category 2 funding is still available. They're phasing everything out over the next couple of years, it sounds like. We're not really sure what category 2 projects are going to be available. Those are infrastructure type items, service, switches, and access points, and things like that. So the discount is substantial for it. So based on enrollment percentage, you can save, at least 2/3 to 3/4 of this cost paid by E-rate funding.
Back to something that Brian said a minute ago. What do you think, what would you recommend to be the right cycle for going out to bid for the support package?
Going to bid for just a support package, or to feel out what services actually provide 24/7 support? First, before you could go to determine if you want to go out to bid for that kind of package.
I'm sorry, it's my hearing.
And I think if we're moving from in-house, then there's what kind of 24/7 support package are you looking to bid? I think that's what you're.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're asking, right?
Well, so I understood that we are phasing in internal tech.
Protect.
Aren't these other things that infrastructure monitoring management, would that all come in-house as well?
Not necessarily. We can utilize in-house technicians, but just have like a network administrator that's not on site. So it's just monitoring and managing our infrastructure from Net 56.
Right, that's the question, I think. Brian's asking, will we be going to bed anytime soon? And what is is it 3 years, 5 years? How often should we recommend that we go out to bid for that part of it?
Yeah, I think a 3-year cycle is probably safe. I don't think anything having a 5-year contract I'd feel comfortable with. The cost of getting 24/7 monitoring is around $54,000 a year. And in order to go away from that service, you have to hire a full-time network admin that comes at $80,000, $90,000, $200,000. To me, it's a no-brainer to have that monitoring. Such a peace of mind that they do it all the time. They've spent money on the infrastructure, and we just so it is a high cost, but it's an unavoidable one, I think, based on our size and scope of what we're trying to do. So I think a 3-year cycle is probably
Sometimes in the next 5 years, you're going to have to say it's time to put that portion out to it.
Absolutely, and we assuming everything goes well with our in-house technicians, which we're confident on, we would just be going out to bid just with 24/7, which is what a lot of districts do.
And I think, we were here, and so I think there's two of us. I think we did have some thought that eventually we would be able to move back in-house. That we were so far behind that we, having to do some outsourcing, get some experts really clean things up. So it's not surprising that, we're getting to that point to hear you guys talking about that. I just had one other question around E-rate. That was one of the things when we first started on this. We did use E-rate, so there's a limited amount of money you get for E-rate, is that right? So is there something else? I think I heard you say we're not using it this year. So is there something else where we're taking money from, file A, B, with E-rate, where costs go up somewhere else, or?
Sort of, yeah. There's a category 1 and category 2 funding. Category 1 is for internet landlines. They used to be for cellular service. That's a program that's not going to go away. Internet's first and foremost what they want. Everyone needs it. Now it's as important as your electricity, your gas, and everything like that to a school district. So that program's not going to go away. The fund they've phased out over the last few years landlines and wireless cell phone devices. I think this is last year provide commercial funding with landlines, so that cost will go up slightly. It's not a large cost for us for our landlines, but so that cost will go up a little bit. At the same time, we're going to be still retaining the same level of funding currently. Category 2 is still around, and that's for all this infrastructure. Right? So we're confident it's still going to be around for the next year or 2 years. Beyond that, it's up to the federal government's budget and whether they're going to still continue to fund that. So we want to try to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So I know we're bouncing around on topics like this, but back to the idea of bringing people back in. I would hope that we would make sure that we are giving them professional development so that they stay up to date on what's happening externally, so that we don't end up kind of a vacuum type situation for technical.
No, absolutely. Just like educators, we all need to have professional development, just like our technical staff, and every staff that works for us needs to make sure that they are being up to date, whether it's their own certifications or professional development in regards to technology that is being implemented here.
Anyone else have any comments or questions on this topic?
Just a quick one about looking at 1819, replacing the wireless access points. We've got a hardware update. We're proposing this year with just the servers. So does that, so can I assume that the implication is that our switches, routers, and other type of equipment is going to be able to support the district for at least another couple, 3 years?
Yeah, actually, they did an audit, Net 56 did an audit, and they said all of our switches, our core switches, everything that's here is actually pretty up to date, withstand a lot longer than our wireless access points, which do support. So they suggested taking care of the wireless access points right away, and then the switches and everything that's connected in, besides the servers are fine for the next few years.
I think you need to make any changes for those in order to 24/7 monitoring to take place where all that is fine.
So they all have SmartNet on them, so they're all being updated like periodically over the course of the year.
So those of us who've been here for a while and have been following this topic, that's not insignificant. The fact that someone can come in here and to tell us that we're up to date,
Mm-hmm.
we've been invested for several years, a number of years, and that's, right, Ryan? That's significant that they would say that we're in a position on that, so that's good news and progress. Okay, any other questions, comments?
I think the only comment I'll make is you'll see later on in the agenda, a little bit of contract for Net 56 we've discussed here. So that's this contract in its entirety. So we're just presenting for information now, and action at the next board meeting, but that's based on the plan we just discussed.
So it's under item,
It's under the second attachment.
It's also under item B of the business agenda.
Is it listed here?
Should be item E under the business agenda, the review of the resolution 96 search for.
And they're the same, it's just the same two attachments that, Mr. Hanson just presented under.
All right, thank you very much. Moving onward.
We've invited Mr. Schwartz, who has a seat at the table, which your name tag Juicy one. Mr. will be with us for a while. But Mr. Schwartz has put together an update of what we're doing, what we have done this past month, and then over the next 2 weeks of summer, as far as our project. So that is our first attachment, and then the second attachment for your review, and then the opportunity for you to ask questions is we are proposing hiring and retaining services and construction manager to oversee our summer projects as well as the projects going forward. So I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Schwartz.
I presume you all copied the memo and with updates in bold and italics what progress we made last month. I think tonight Eric and the administration presented for approval the air conditioning project phase 1 schools. We've got some very good bids, great coverage on that. We've got 9 bidders. We're also working on card access. I'm working on that with Henderson Lock, and I think that the next step is that there's a IT aspect to this. We'll be submitting that to the administration, to Eric Hansen, for his review, because there has to be some coordination there in terms of access to your system in order to put in the card access system. Security cameras, we're beginning to research possible systems and scopes of coverage. Playground equipment, Mr. Rogers and I met with a playground consultant who was recommended by White, the architect, and for the purpose of coming up with a master plan for playground equipment at Fairhaven. The whole project is part of the referendum. But since we have available grant money, we wanted to make sure that what we bought with that grant money fits in the overall scheme of the improvement for the playground. And so we're in progress with that, and we should be in a position shortly to make a purchase. And so there will be no wastefulness in terms of duplication or putting in something that doesn't fit in with the overall plan for playground equipment at Fairhaven. And part of that whole plan that will be completed next summer would be to make sure that it's safe, clearances are appropriate, the equipment is appropriate for children in the age group, and that it's good looking, and that the site, which now can collect water, is dewatered. We're going to bring a civil engineer in as part of next summer's program. So it's all fitting together. There is also miscellaneous painting and flooring and signage. White is working with the administration on that. And I think we'll probably have more of an update at the next time we make this presentation. And then LED lighting and for the exterior lighting, we currently have the old, what they're called wall packs on the outside of the buildings that are, the plastic is yellow, and the source of lighting is not sufficient as LED. Eric has been working using the available ComEd grants to get this done at the lowest possible cost. I think it's going to make a big impact in terms of safety and security and around the schools, and also doing looking at proposals for corridor lighting here at West Hill. And you mentioned that you're always happy to be up to date, when the district is up to date. And this lighting is that we will be up to date in terms of the Illinois Energy Code, which has requirements for light harvesting and vacancy sensors, and there'll be LED fixtures. So I think that will be an accomplishment that Eric is going to achieve in a relatively rapid manner. So,
and it's really going to provide a high sophistication of energy savings to our district as well. Everything comes with occupancy sensors. There's a short payback period for that as well. Our TA lights are not that old, but they've been completely phased out by other projects. So having occupancy sensors will always save a lot of energy. It's a very, very technologically sophisticated product. You save a lot of money with DC fuel rebate. So the program being changed to more of a ComEd rebate program, but we're confident the level of rebates will remain the same. So it's going to be a relatively inexpensive project. The appeal is for products.
The advantage of LED is it fits really nicely into a digital environment. So from an instructional point of view, teachers can have the option of, because every light fixture has its own IP address, the lighting levels can be controlled on a phone, and they can do different presets for, it sounds like this is a very expensive thing. It's actually very inexpensive. It's amazing how far lighting has advanced, and LED just has a great interface with digital controls.
Is that true for the air conditioners as well? Are they advanced in addition to?
Yes, they are actually. They're the SEER rating for these air conditioners, which is a measure of energy efficiency year-round, is higher than what your normal residential air conditioning are, some of these can be, have an SEER rating of 18 or 20, your home air conditioners are less than that. This is sort of an inexpensive way, if you want to talk about it, an inexpensive way to air condition classrooms. Part of the referendum, we did not put in the millions of dollars that would have been required to tear out all the unit ventilators, install the ductwork and things like that. This basically is an overlay to the existing system that has similar, easy digital controls. The thing that I think it really has going for it is a very quiet system, the quietest of all systems. So you're going to have these classrooms that are affected, are removing these amazing circular fans from the classrooms. The teacher will have control, individual controls of these things, and they're very quiet, and they're a great improvement over a window unit, and very high-tech now, high-tech. So I think it's a good solution. In any case, the other referendum projects, there's nothing to report on that, other than the next topic, which is related to that, which is construction managers. But if you have any questions regarding the progress on the summer project.
I think they're exciting, and there's some that are going to affect the students and teachers right away, which is wonderful. Do you feel confident that some of those really big ticket items that aren't being addressed can be covered by the remaining money?
Be covered how?
By the remaining amount of money, or we still have the money we need to do roofing or boiler?
Hardly even touching the referendum money. With very little of the referendum money is being used. I'm confident that, my feeling is that, we look at it as a 3-year project, that in the first year or two, there's going to be a big impact on the district, in terms of upgrading things and that. We sort of look at maybe $4 billion a year, but it's not clear whether they can come in under or over. But by the time we get to the 3rd year, I think, things will change. Things will, everything, perspectives will change. I think we have a sufficient amount of money with the referendum, with your life safety, and with your O&M funds to make a significant difference in the district. That has a significant impact on energy conservation, but also construction and ease of maintenance. And that's what we're always looking for, is not putting in something that's too common.
As far as the referendum money this summer, the only items that would be covered by that are flooring, painting, and the card access. So that's really under $40 million. The AC project, the LED lighting, that's all going to be funded out there.
So the preliminary budget for the card access is around $175,000. So we haven't bid it yet; it's still in the works, and this would cover all of the exterior doors in the district that people go in and out. There are some doors, like those doors, that would not be covered by it because they're not. I visited with all the principals, and we went through all of the doors where teachers and students come in and out. Those are the ones that will have card access. And, basically all the doors will be locked during the day, and all of the existing exterior keys will be useless because it's going to be routine. So, as I said, the infrastructure, the computer infrastructure will have to be, I think I'm going to have a document that I send to both Eric, Rogers, and Hanson regarding their proposed equipment and the interface for their review.
There are many other questions. The second attachment in the packet is the overview, not like from Mr. Schwartz, changing services and construction manager.
I've been accused of like listening to myself talk. So. In any case, just briefly, the construction manager, in my experience, does not cost anything more than the general contractor. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that they both have, both the general contractor. A lot of companies do both. They're both general contractors and construction managers. Construction manager is not a person; it is a company, a corporation. It's comprised of field superintendents, office personnel, various other parts that a general contractor would have as well. In addition, the main benefits of it is that the construction manager is hired and is involved throughout the project. So we would want to hire this person right away. They get involved in the design. I give an example on the last page, a hypothetical how they might be involved in the design of the benefits. The other thing about it that is very useful besides is that there's much more transparency. The board will see when you get a bid from a general contractor, and I'm not disparaging general contractor, but you really, if we got 4 bids, it would be 3.8 million, 4.1 million, 3.4 million, whatever. But you don't know whether or not, the plumbing bid was, there were no plumbers out there bidding the job, and we're looking at $1 million number when it could have been 400,000. You only see the bottom line. With a construction manager, we break the job down, or they break the job down into maybe 20 different trades. So you'll have demolition, concrete, carpentry, toilet partitions, ceilings, and lighting, plumbing, HVAC. And what we try to do is get as many bids in each of those trades. This is public bidding. So these bids go to the board. So you'll see 4 different concrete bids of silver concrete, 5 different HVAC contracts. So you can see, for example, the distribution. And you might have one contract. On this side, come across this where you only get 1 bid. And you go, because we're going to try to do this early, we have a situation where we think we didn't get good bid coverage. We can rebid that. And we try, and the construction manager is very valuable in soliciting bidders for your project. They generally have a huge connection with all the subcontractors for all the trades. So that's the benefit. So you have the benefit of their being involved in the project, not as an adversary, but as a partner. You have better transparency of the project. And the other thing is that $4 million of work has to be completed, substantially completed in 10 weeks. Work to be done. And you really want to go with a proven expert, somebody that's proven, that somebody that you've vetted, that can look at their work, that they've done. When you bid to a general contractor, you don't really have control over who's going to bid. I know it's public bidding, so you really want to not favor anybody. On the other hand, the person that is going to actually put the superintendent in the field, going to put the pay requests together, going to follow the schedules, and to run the meetings, is somebody that you've vetted as an expert in the field. And so that's one of the benefits of having a construction manager. And we talked about, with board's consent, to immediately start to interview construction managers that not only would get involved in the design for next year's project, but help us along with some of the more difficult things we're trying to do this summer in terms of flooring and lighting and things like that.
So just time check for the board, we have appointment starting at 8. Does anyone have any concerns or questions for Mr. Schwartz about using the construction manager approach?
Just one quick clarifying question. Mr. Schwartz, how does the construction manager wage? Is it a percentage?
Yes, right. A general contractor has, assembles all their bids and does overhead and profit. Construction manager does general conditions and fee. So you might see something like, generally they actually about equal each other. So general conditions is the cost for them with their markup for all the office personnel, the support, the field superintendent, the drinking water, the copying, every line item. You say, well, you want to drinking water, you can use it, but, you see everything.
I guess what I'm getting at is it a fixed percentage?
It's a negotiated thing. So when we interview people, we're going to ask them, what is your fee going to be? It's typically, I remember a bigger project, 3%, around that plus or minus 1%. So if the project's coming at $3 million, they're going to get 60, 90, I don't know, depends on what. It depends on the market, basically, but that market is acting through general construction as well. And then you're just paying a line item, you're seeing every line item. So it's very transparent.
So this evening, Mr. Schwartz, Mr. Rogers, and Mr. Preble are asking us for direction on, do we support this recommendation? And if so, if we agree to go with the construction management approach, they're going to bring a proposal in terms of who at the next meeting. Is that correctly? Do they have our okay on that approach, construction manager approach?
You guys are approving or anything?
Yes.
Yes. We look forward to meeting the proposed construction manager or managers.
If you'd like, we'd be happy to invite you to the interview as well. If you guys would like this extended invitation, interview levels.
And it's companies that do construction management are interested in bidding, contact me. They're supposed to work.
They're going to be working directly with our architect as well. So it's a collaborative environment. So, we post, it's either, we don't have to necessarily post it as an invite. Invite people to bid. This type of service is not necessarily to go out, we can go out to bid just for paper. So I think we take recommendations for the invite.
We've also had to reach out to us once they find out that we have a referendum, go through, they will be doing some projects, so we can't contact some people.
And they go to Louisville. I have an email too that needs to be forwarded.
Well, that's perfect, yes, that's very good.
Mr. President, the last part, you guys are going to come with one person that is representing? Like, is that what I'm hearing that, you're going to say, we talked to 10 people or 5 people, and this person will recommend this XYZ, here's what they've been, in range of costs, just give some more guidance on.
And we'll kind of find out who we've interviewed and what our opinion was on that.
We'll be recommending a company, not a person.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
My company.
Okay, so you have your sheet. Thank you for coming, Mr. Schwartz. All right, the next items are our business agenda. These items are for action or discussion. The first item left is resolution for the lease agreement with American Capital Financial Services.
This is required from our action. We needed our council's requirements to approve resolution so they can provide their opinion. Basically say, yes, the board supported the purchase of these devices, which we presented in a previous meeting. So that's the business being brought to me. And we did approve sooner than this, we did purchase for this.
Sure, that just said our council
Yeah.
said that we need to get this agreement in place.
Yes, in order for them to provide their legal opinion saying, yes, the district is able to purchase these devices. It's a formal process that we're requiring for each time. So
But we've already approved the expense. We've approved the expense already. This is just formality.
it's just a formality, yes.
Any concerns, comments, questions? May we have a motion to approve?
Second. Keel?
Yes.
Elton,
Yes.
Sabaki,
Yes.
Kessler, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Gaffney,
Yes. Next item up is the resolution on the omnibus vote agenda. Comments or questions on this item? The next item is our annual resolution having to do with prevailing wage rate. Comments or questions on this item? The next item is the resolution for the extra duty compensation schedule. Comments or questions on this item?
I just want to share that when we initially negotiated with our teachers union, these 6 positions were being reviewed. They were being time carded, so they were already in the contract. We just weren't sure if they were going to be annual stipends, or monthly stipends, or hourly stipends. So after collecting data for the past 6 months, talking about as well as the union, this is the final document that we had agreed to. And as you can see, the union has some major issues, so we just put that in for the next meeting. I read that on the nothing else has changed except for those items.
That's why I is the new.
Right.
Chad.
So, do we have after-school academic stipends here? I saw one for special ed, I didn't see it. We also have some sort of after-school roles that we're paying for in terms of tutoring and stuff. That's
Yeah, we have reading club, I know there's homework club, I know there's various after school, depending on the school subject matter that's being supported in the after school stipends.
The only other question I have about the stipend is that, I don't remember if this was an answer from you before, but a minimum participation rate for the stipend. So I think that's, I've asked the question, you know, I think there was just 2 track coaches this year, like I just did. So is there a minimum number of kids, like to have more than 1 coach and then add 2 at a certain number? Like the same way with some of the band positions, they're very open out, very finite, but like the jazz band isn't that many kids, so are we paying through stipends?
Can I defer that to Mr. Wilker?
The stipends are written based on, how do I say? So I'm gonna use jazz band. There's 3 jazz bands. There's a 6th grade, a 7th grade, and an 8th grade. So the stipend is based on the time you're working with that particular group. In the stipend description, which isn't a part of the schedule, there were there's a number of participants, or if we do sewing club, you have to have so many kids, that type of a thing. So there are requirements to be met for the number of participants. In track, it's our largest.
Yes, but I know it's the largest one, but I think we only had 2.
We only had 2 this year. The closest person wanted to come was from Elgin, and by the time that person would have had our practices, would have been over. So, but by the contract, they split it and they do it. It works out well. So hopefully we'll have more people next year coaching.
But so did we, like, the coaches then, did we really pay each coach a half, or did they really just get 1 stipend?
No.
Yeah.
Based on the way the contract's written, there is, like, if I'm the basketball coach and I coach 8th grade and 7th grade,
Yeah.
then I get the double stipend.
Okay.
So in track, there was a percentage of splitting based on the volume of kids and the responsibilities done.
Okay.
And that was worked out and then discussed with Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
So that's all in the contract. Captured in the contract, okay.
I guess the numbers, that was in the contract? I just don't know.
In the description of the stipend position.
Okay, but that's outside the contract.
Well, the stipend, yeah, okay.
I'm just.
The payment was, but in the descriptor of the stipend, so if you're gonna have cheerleading, you have to have X number of kids. If you're gonna do a club, you gotta have 8 kids or 12 kids. That's in the descriptor.
Okay.
It's part of the contract or not?
It's part of the stipend agreement, yes.
Moving on. Review and resolution for the NEP 56 service program. That's what we just discussed.
Yeah, that was exactly what we just discussed.
Any additional comments, questions on that item?
I do have a comment, just to, I didn't believe that extremely close, I'm just going to do it for typographical with errors, for that section 2, terms and conditions is misnumbered.
Misnumbered?
It's misnumbered, yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 2, 3.
Are you, it's in third attachment.
Let's see, page 11, I think there's a couple of other minor things that just do it. When I come across an error, which,
Yeah, you said, I'll take a look up.
okay.
Yeah, oh, I see what you mean, there's a red highlight.
It's actually red too, so I mean, it must have been noted or.
We requested some changes to the original proposal, because they wanted a 3-year agreement, he said, no, we only want a year agreement with them. So they did make some changes, and it looks like we may have to drag for that new version of the agreement. So we're final approval of that updated.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing out.
Next item is the resolution for the air conditioner project. Any additional comments, questions on that item?
Okay, clarify my question. What's the relationship between 2010 engineering and this, paper?
2010 engineering and what?
And the company that one did.
Okay, well, that was the engineer, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and structural engineer that White board approved uses as their engineer for mechanical, electrical, plumbing design. The president of the company, Jeff Chamberlain, I happen to have worked with him, and so we brought him in as natural to design air conditioning systems. So and he also has a lot of familiarity with the district. In 2012 or 13, he wrote a comprehensive report on mechanical, electrical, plumbing condition of the district when you had a different architect. So he's been very knowledgeable about the district.
So they're the ones that recommend specs, and they think that they'll take your all advice on.
Next item is our annual resolution having to do with the prices of milk. It's not our actual purchase, but we're approving the prices, correct?
The milk vendor.
Okay, so it is the vendor, which is who?
ECO Miracle. So this is basically a vendor to renew the contract of previous its specifications.
Okay, comments or questions on this item? How is the rate?
Pardon me?
How is the price change? I'm not seeing.
It's a commodity, so it's a fluid price. We'll get price changes every once in a while. These are the most recent prices that we have.
Next item up is the renewal for the lawn care. Comments or questions on this item?
Point out that we're approving to renew the proposals to renew them at the same contractual rate that they had last year. That's the reason we're able to bring them forward.
Great. Next up are personnel related items. We have, this is 4 new hires, 1 resignation, 1 leave of absence. Comments or questions on these items? This is for action tonight. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Sorry, I didn't do the motion for the other meeting. Be it resolved that the document that 6 Board of Education accepts and approves the personal items as we discussed business. May we have a motion to approve?
Second. Dale.
Yes.
Kessler, yes. Halpern.
Yes.
Sabaki.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Yaffe.
Yes. Okay, so then we're going to point of order here. I finished the resolution regarding the first one about the active protection plan. This is something our attorneys requested. Is it okay? You did it.
That's the item, equipment list, which is part of the attachment. So I don't think it's necessary to read it as part of the resolution. You're just approving resolution to purchase the attached items. Attachment.
All right, and that concludes our business agenda. We're moving on to the board discussion. We are proceeding to look at the open board position. Any other board discussion? We had one FOIA request that's been filled. Notices and communications, I've seen none. At this time, we open up the floor for any public comments on other agenda items or non-agenda items. Any others this evening? At this time, the board will adjourn into executive session. The selection of persons to fill public office, including a vacancy in a public office in the district, is given power to appoint under law or ordinance, or the discipline, performance, or removal of the applicant of public office in the district is given power to remove the applicant under law or ordinance. And the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel of the district, including hearing testimony on complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel of the district to determine its validity. May we have a motion to return into executive session?
Peter.
Yes.
Halpern.
Yes.
Kessler, yes. Sabaki.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Yaffe.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.